Welcome to Reciprocity Rx. This is our third open house overall. Welcome to 2026. My name is Sydney Williams. I am the author of Hiking Your Feelings, Blazing a Trail to Self-Love. I am the founder of Hiking My Feelings and the creator of Reciprocity Rx. And tonight we are going to be talking about what we've unleashed so far since 2026, what we are going to be doing in what we unleashed in 2025, what we have coming up in 2026, and a look at the Reciprocity Rx Community Challenge, a look at our Pathfinders program in Glacier National Park. So if you're just joining us, thank you for being here. Feel free to keep yourselves muted and your video off. We are going to be talking about all the things we've got going on, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. So if you are here in the chat, we'd love to know who you are, where you're from, what brings you here today, and how do you connect with nature? So go ahead and let us know. While you do that, I'm going to get us rolling here. So a little bit about me. My name is Sydney. Like I said, I am the founder of Hiking My Feelings. We are a nonprofit organization on a mission to improve community health by creating opportunities for people to experience the healing power of nature. We've been doing this work since 2018, and we've had the honor, privilege, and great just experience of doing this with hosting more than 500 events around the United States since 2018. And we've volunteered thousands of hours with various public lands agencies. We've helped connect thousands of people to the healing power of nature. And Reciprocity Rx is a new initiative that we're bringing to life this year, and I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about it. If you're unfamiliar with my story, the short version is hiking saved my life. There's actually a really great podcast episode that came out this week to talk a little bit more about Reciprocity Rx from our friends at Illumine Collect. If you are here and you're curious about that, you're going to get a resource right after here with a link to it. So don't worry too much. But if you're looking for a little bit of background about what Hiking My Feelings is and how this all came to be, that is a great way to listen while you work and hear a little bit more about it. For everybody else, if you're just joining us, if you could keep yourselves muted and stay off camera. We're going to roll through this webinar style, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. So, hi, I'm Sydney. I'm the founder and creator here at Reciprocity Rx. And like I said, hiking saved my life. And if you want to know more about that, there's an audiobook where you can listen to me tell you about that happened. If you prefer to hold something in your hand, you can read Hiking Your Feelings, Blazing a Trail to Self-Love. Listen to the podcast episode that I mentioned that we'll send out in the replay resources, and Google it. At this point, I've told this story so many times, but the long and the short of it is I didn't realize that I was being prescribed nature when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and that diagnosis changed everything for me. So my work in this space comes from a deeply personal connection to healing in nature. And what we're going to be talking about tonight is a little bit about everything we've got going on, what we've already uncovered leading up to this moment here in 2026, and what we got on deck. So Reciprocity Rx is a nature-based care initiative. We offer free resources. We have a certification program, and we run immersive experiences to help people connect with themselves and heal their communities and the planet together. So if you're curious and you want to learn more, visit reciprocityrx.com. What is this ecosystem? Great question. We'll walk through this pretty quickly here, and then we'll get into some of the other things that we've got going on. At the base level, and I like to think of this as an ecosystem because what we're talking about is healing the planet, healing ourselves, and healing with each other. So at the base level of all this is our community and our free toolkit. We have a self-reflection framework called the 4 R's, and that is the framework that informs everything we do with Reciprocity Rx. It is how we structure our days. It is how we format our retreats. It's how we do everything. And you can come into the 4 R's in our Reciprocity Rx Collective, which is our free community at community.reciprocityrx.com. We have the free 4 R's available in the toolkit. We also this month started rolling out our different landscapes, different medicines resource, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But it is a quick introduction to the different benefits that different landscapes have to offer us, a prompt for reflection that you can use, and a ritual It's about 5 to 10 minutes long per landscape. And we also have a video with a script that you can read. It's kind of like a visual meditation, if you will. You can listen to me talk about all the things that the different landscapes are great for and why we love them so much, and watch some of our footage from some of our adventures over the past years. So the online certification program, if you are already familiar with what we're doing here and you're like, yeah, I can't wait, it's almost February. Bonus, I got some good news and an update. So we were selected, since our last chat here, we were selected to facilitate and speak at the Public Lands Alliance conference in Daytona, Florida in February. And as a result of that, we want to give ourselves as much time as we can to onboard and welcome and recruit our public lands professionals, our colleagues from the industry, at and during and after the conference. So we are going to bump that program start date to March. So the program will now be running March through October instead of February to September. But the online certification program is designed for folks that want to dig deeper. If you love the toolkit and you're like, thanks for the taste, I'd like a little more, that's what it's for. Reciprocity Rx right now, if you go to the website, it is for everybody, because it is for everybody. And if you're here and you're a care provider of some sort, whether you're a doctor writing nature prescriptions or you're curious about adding nature-based interventions into your practice and introducing those into the communities and populations that you serve, the online certification program is a great way to get really familiar and firsthand intimate knowledge of how we do what we do here with Reciprocity Rx. The toolkit is also something that you can prescribe right now. So if you'd like to introduce your patients, clients, community, the populations that you serve, students that you work with, friends that you have, introduce them to the toolkit. One, the community is really rad. We're about just over 800 strong right now on Mighty Networks. We are starting to see people start to trickle in with their own shares. Right now, it's a lot of Sydney sharing what's going on. But given everything that's going on in the world today, I highly recommend joining the community and thinking, like digging into that free toolkit and giving yourself the opportunity to imagine what it might be like to participate in that certification program. And the reason that I want to talk about this in this way right now, specifically with regards to the community, is I don't know about you guys, but I had an absolute top-down panic attack last week because I've been doom scrolling all the time. I fancy myself a pretty sophisticated communicator. As a result of that, I am also naturally curious. I like to be informed, but there is such a thing as torture, and that's what I was doing to myself. I am in a season of life between how early the sun sets and the way my circadian rhythms work as a person who lives and works and travels in their van. I wake up so early because I go to bed so early, and I used to sleep with my phone tucked on the windowsill behind my head while it was charging. And if I woke up at 2 or 3 in the morning, as I'm wont to do when I go to bed at 7 p.m., I like turn around and I grab my phone and I start scrolling. And even if I turn around because I have a great idea and I want to like jot it down, I get so distracted by everything else that happens on my phone that I never even get to the good idea. And last week I had a full-blown meltdown in public. I'm talking, I screamed at the top of my lungs while I was like trying to make the bed at the back of the van when we were parked at Fiesta Island waiting for a friend in San Diego. Not my finest moment, but indicative of the world that we live in. And bringing this back to the community, you're not going to see people getting murdered in the streets in our network. You're just not. You're not going to see videos of the atrocities that are happening. And that's not to say that we want to shield you from that or protect you from it, but we know that there's like a bajillion other places where you can see that. It's literally everywhere. The second you open any social media app, it's on there. News apps, it's the headlines. I mean, it's just everywhere. And there's so much to be said about what's going on in the world right now, and what I'm trying to do and what we're building here as a community with me and my husband and everybody that's been through our programs over the past, we're going into year 8 now. I'm kind of done giving space for being scared about what it means to show up on the internet these days. I trust that you guys can get your news wherever you get your news. And my approach with both our community and the collective what we're sharing to social media is to remind everybody, at least right now in this current moment, is to give everybody an opportunity to have a break from the horror that they see on their screen. So this week, we released our deserts resource as part of our free toolkit, and moving forward, all of our engagements on social media that are forward facing, that are in an algorithm kind of situation that we don't have any control over, all of our engagements there are going to be reminding you of what is possible, what is helpful, and try to give you as many tools to add to your toolkit as we can possibly give you. So at the very least, if you continue to stay on social media and you find yourself doom scrolling, maybe the algorithm will serve us as a little break in the madness. But really, I think the biggest benefit of this private online community we have right now, no ads, no algorithms, we're not performing, we're relating, and we're growing in relationship together. Now, does that mean that we won't have conversations about hard things? Absolutely not. That's what we're known for. And also, give yourself a break. Come see beautiful pictures of how the mountains are helping us heal. We've got a great thread going on about it right now. So online certification, like I said, starts in March. And then our immersive experiences, we'll get into those here all together. So here is a QR code to join the Reciprocity Rx Collective. If you haven't yet already, we would love to see you and welcome you to the community in 2026. It's free to join. Mighty Networks is its own kind of like closed system. So if you join the Reciprocity Rx Collective, you're not going to see anything other than what is shared in this community. And you can tailor your experience as you wish. If you're trying to stay off apps and you're going strictly browser-based, Mighty Networks exists on any device with a browser. So if you're doing that on your computer or your phone, your tablet, your smart TV, whatever you're into, it's available to you. And within that, you can set all of your different notification settings. If you want to get a email digest daily or weekly, you got that option. If you want no notifications and you just come in whenever it feels good, that's also fine. So highly recommend joining if you haven't already. If for no other reason, then you can know for sure every time you open this app that it's full of something good and probably another tool to add to your toolbox. So what do we have so far? We've talked about the 4 R's: receive, reflect, return, reconnect. The 4 R's free toolkit is active, up, and ready for you to use right now. In addition to that, we also have our end of year kind of self-reflection process. So if you're still kind of like chewing on what happened in 2025, we've got 4 simple questions, each aligned to the 4 R's to help you reflect in that way, set some intentions for 2026. And then our different landscapes, different medicines. We started with mountains last week. This week we had deserts come out. Next week is water week. So in these free toolkits for different landscapes, different medicines, like I said, you'll learn, there's a video, so you'll see some of the footage from some of the places that we've had an opportunity to do stewardship projects in and explore ourselves. You'll also have a script that talks about why do we love these places? Like, what is it that makes us love the forest, the mountain, the desert? How have communities in the past related to these places? What is some of the science that brings us these benefits? And what is one of the ways that you can connect with us in a more reciprocal way? It also offers some research. If you love digging into the research, I give you a couple bullet points of why these places are great and the studies that support that. So if you like to get down and nerd out on some studies and research papers, we've got that for you as well. In addition to that, one very easy, approachable, well, maybe not easy, depending on how your self-reflection process works, but one approachable prompt that'll help you tap into the energy of that landscape, and then a ritual that is inspired by how these landscapes support us. So hopefully you'll check those out if you haven't already. And then when you're ready, come on down for March. We're starting the Reciprocity Rx Foundation Certification Program. We offer 3 monthly meetings, and all of this, if you are able to attend live, we'd love to have you, obviously. We also know that between time zones and life be lifing, and the capacity to be on Zoom for another hour after you get home or during your workday or whatever, however your schedule works. If you can't make it, we'll have recordings available. The resources always live in the Reciprocity Rx Collective under the Foundation's online certification program in that space. So we have comprehensive course materials, a resource library. Like I mentioned, this is all hosted on the private, algorithm-free, ad-free online community, the Reciprocity Rx Collective. We have guest expert sessions that are coming during the program. And at the end, you'll earn your certificate of completion, which opens up continuing pathways as a licensed facilitator. So that would empower you to be a licensed Reciprocity Rx facilitator. The certification program is going to give you, like I said, that deep dive into the 4 R's. It's a 8-month program. So the first month, March, is our welcome month. And then we talk about receive, reflect, return, reconnect. So that would be April, May, June, July. And then we transition into exploring how we take our own personal practice that we will have developed throughout the process of this program into our communities. So we're starting this with ourselves because that is the most authentic place. If you're a provider, that's the most authentic place to prescribe from. If you're a facilitator, that's the most authentic place to facilitate from. And if you're just a human on a healing journey, this is for you too. You don't have to be a care provider or work in public lands or have letters after your name to go through the certification program. This is open to anybody and everybody that's interested in a deeper reciprocal relationship with themselves, their communities, and the planet, as well as anybody else that they'd like to bring this into community with. So the certification program registration is open through March 30th. You can sign up at reciprocityrx.com. When you scroll down, you'll see the link for the foundations program, but registration for that is open through March 30th, and we offer sliding scale payments for that. And if you are unable to pay the whole registration fee at one time, then we'll take a deposit and set you up on a payment plan. We're doing the best we can to raise money and offer partial scholarships. Someday, hopefully, we'll have full scholarships as more people sign up for this. But we are really, really proud of the ways that we've been able to make the sliding scale fees accessible without any support. So we really got down and dirty crunching numbers to see how low can we go in order to make this still sustainable in the spirit of reciprocity, right? Like, we don't want to give everything away and then ourselves be suffering. We've been doing that for a long time and we're kind of getting out of that. So I'm just really proud that without any external funding, no current donors for this project, we're able to offer this sliding scale and to set people up on payment plans. I really, truly mean it when I say I don't want finances to be a barrier to entry into this work. So if you're watching this, if you're listening later, if you have any questions, if you want to trade, if you want to barter, if you have a creative thought or idea about how you could get involved and how that might help us offset some costs or to support your spot in the program, we are all about it. And I'm the boss, so I get to choose. So bring me some good ideas and let's party, right? So that's the foundations program, starts in March. Now let's talk about retreats. We've got our first ones coming up where you can experience Reciprocity Rx in the wild. We're going East Coast to start. And we have plenty of spots available for our retreat in Everglades and Biscayne. That is February 28th to March 2nd, all inclusive. So once you arrive at the visitor center at Biscayne National Park, then we're driving you to where we're going. We're putting you up at the Flamingo in their eco tents where it's called the Flamingo Resort. And also there are flamingos there. Hi, what? Real flamingos? Okay, it's cool. So we're going kayaking. We're doing our shoreline cleanup, all kinds of great stuff. And we are just so excited to get down to the Everglades and Biscayne. Our partners at the Florida National Parks Association have put together an incredible itinerary to help us bring this all together and experience South Florida in a new way. And then after that, we're bebopping over to St. Thomas and St. John. We're doing a service project with the Friends of Virgin Islands National Park. They're the partner for Virgin Islands National Park on St. John in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And your meals, activities, rustic accommodations are included. This is a very work-heavy trip. So if you've been to one of our other events before, we typically do a day-long or half-day service project in the context of the whole event. This is work-centered. So we arrive on Sunday, we check out on the following Sunday, and we are working on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have days off on Wednesday and Saturday. And our work days are from about 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we have the afternoon to go have some fun on the beach and do some cool activities. So this is a lightly programmed, more volunteer work heavy experience for the U.S. Virgin Islands. So Everglades and Biscayne and U.S. Virgin Islands, those are our first ones coming up here in a little bit over a month. And if you're just joining us, reminder, if you could stay on mute and if you could stay off camera, that would be super awesome. Thank you. And our first track specific program is our immersive certification retreat in North Cascades National Park. This is for providers. And when we say providers, we mean anybody that provides any kind of care in any context. This is not exclusively for physicians. It's not exclusively for folks with credentials and certificates and letters after their name. For example, we've got a gal that is working in biotech, and she comes to our events, and then she takes some of the stuff that she learns from us and she brings it back to her team to help her team of biotech colleagues learn how to regulate, wind down, regulate their nervous systems, navigate burnout. So if you are providing care in that context, if you are a person who's like the healer in your friend group and you're like, yeah, I want to bring this to my people, this is a great opportunity to do so. And this retreat, while not specifically for healthcare providers, is supported by our partner, Dr. Melissa Sunderman. She is a double board certified physician in internal and lifestyle medicine. She's a global leader in Nature as Medicine and the chair of the Nature as Medicine subcommittee for the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, and so many other like braggable bullet points. If you go to our website, reciprocityrx.com, and go to About, you can click on our stories and learn more about how Melissa came into this work. But this is going to be incorporating lifestyle medicine, not from a this is how you prescribe it perspective, but this is how this integrates into what we're doing. So if you are curious at all about Nature as Medicine, highly recommend, whether this is something that you're interested personally for yourself, your family, your community, information that you'd like to share to democratize access to health services, to add more healing modalities to your toolbox, and the ways that you support your communities, you are definitely welcome here. So this also includes an environmental stewardship project. All of the everything's included in this one as well. You fly into or meet us at the Seattle airport, and then we drive out to North Cascades Institute together. All of your accommodations are included. All of your food is included. All of the workshops led by Melissa Sunderman and myself and my husband Barry are included. And this is a really beautiful opportunity to bridge the gap from insight to action. By the time we meet together in June, we will have gone through the first March, April, May, June. We will have gone through the first 3 or 4 months of the program together. So this immersive experience does include the Foundations program. So everybody that participates in Foundations, whether or not you're going to a retreat, we're all in this program together. So folks that are providers of different kinds, folks that are working in public lands or in outdoor recreation, folks that are deeply concerned about the planet and its health, as well as individuals, kind of like how I started, individuals on their own healing journey that are looking for something. We all come together during the Foundations online program, and then this retreat is an opportunity for those providers in that cohort to get to know each other a little bit more intimately and to have this immersive experience together. When we look ahead to deeper in the summer, in July, the 9th through the 12th, we're returning to Redwood National and State Parks. This is an event that's open to anybody. It does not include the Foundations online program unless you want to add that, and then we're happy to add that to your program registration. But this is one of our intro retreats, so we use the 4 R's, receive, reflect, return, reconnect, as the structure, format, and scaffolding for these experiences. This includes a stewardship project in support of Redwood National and State Parks, and proceeds from this event also support the Redwood Parks Conservancy. They are an absolutely incredible organization that works with Redwood National and State Parks, the U.S. Forest Service, tribal organizations, and other nonprofit organizations in the region that are all supporting these different landscapes. So Redwood is near and dear to my heart. My husband and I were able to live there for 6 months last year in the park as camp hosts. And this is where we learned and saw in no uncertain terms how reciprocity really works. The trees taught us everything we know. So come and join us. This is also an all-inclusive event. So once you arrive in Crescent City, however you get there, you're going to get up to once you get to the Howland Hill Outdoor School, then all of your food is included. All of the transportation to the service projects and around the park when needed is included. Your accommodations are included, all of your workshops, all of the fun stuff that happens on the ground. And like I said, this is a great way to, if you're in the program and you want to come to Redwood, you're totally welcome to. And if you're like, I'm not totally sure about the certification and everything else, like I just want to like dip my toe in a retreat, Redwood is a great place to start that. For anybody that has volunteered with us in the past, from 2023 to present day, you are officially invited to the Reciprocity Rx Volunteers in Parks Reunion. VIP is our program that we work with in Sequoia Kings Canyon National Park and some of the other national parks that we partner with. Volunteers in Parks is a program that is run by the Park Service, and we have been supporting restoration projects in Round Meadow and other areas of Sequoia Kings Canyon National Park since 2022, and we are delighted to offer another reunion event. Our reunion events in Sequoia are free, and they're also bring your own everything. So bring yourself, bring your food, bring your camping equipment, bring anything you might need. If you do need any gear, ask us. We've got some extras. People from all over bring stuff. They have extras. If you want to try stuff out, we can coordinate some gear for you to try out with some of our other participants that are just loaded up. Like, this is a really fun reunion type event where we get to come back together. We'll revisit some of our favorite trails. We'll go say hi to some of our favorite trees and our past project sites, and we'll do another project. And it's just wonderful. So if you've volunteered with us in the past and you'd like to reunion with us in Sequoia National Park, we hope to see you there. If you're like, oh, Sequoia sounds cool, but I haven't volunteered before, and I also kind of feel like a huge undertaking, like I want a big chewy goal to work toward in 2026, the Reciprocity RX Challenge is for you. This is a 3-part program, so it includes Foundations, which runs again from March to October. It includes a volunteer project that is in advance of the backpacking trip, and then a 75-mile trek to Tumangaya. Bonus points if anybody in the chat can tell me what Tumangaya is. Anyone? Put it in the chat if you got it. All right, so Tumangaya is the Paiute name for Mount Whitney, which is the tallest peak in the lower 48 here in the United States, and it is one of the most incredible hikes I've ever done. We did it as a day hike back in 2021. Wouldn't recommend that unless you're like super fit and love waking up at like 2 o'clock in the morning to start a day hike and have it take 16 hours and 22 miles and 7,000 feet of elevation gain. Instead of doing that and smushing it all into one day, we're starting with this volunteer project with Sequoia Kings Canyon. So you'll be at 7,200 feet, which will help you acclimate regardless of where you're joining us from, whether you're at sea level or somewhere else. So we'll have the first few days to get acclimated, and you can test out your gear on a hike while we're in between service projects. And then we embark on a 75-mile backpacking trip. This is in partnership with TSX Challenge. TSX is an incredible organization. They've been guiding on this, Chris, who's our guide for this trek and is one of the founders of TSX, has been hiking this route since the 90s. He hiked it in 4th grade with the teacher that like would take kids out on backcountry trips in the Sierra, and has been guiding on this route for the last 14 going on 15 years. In that time, he's taken countless people, hundreds, if not thousands, and he's only ever had to turn around 2 people that weren't physically prepared. Chris and TSX take a lot of pride in getting anybody that is motivated and desires to get up that mountain. And so we acclimate with our service project. We give before we receive, and then we do a 75-mile trek up and over Mount Whitney, and then we exit on the east side. This is also an all-inclusive adventure. So once you arrive, for the backpacking trip specifically, if you don't have gear, your gear is included. TSX will provide that. So you don't need to go invest in all the equipment if you're not planning on doing this more than once. So all the equipment is included, all the food is included and prepared for you, but we do split how, like as a group, we divide the weight, food weight across the group. It also includes all your transportation. So to and from the meeting point to the trailhead, from the end of the hike, the 4-hour commute back to your car on the west, because we're going from the east side of the Sierra Nevada range all the way around back to where we park our cars in Clovis on the east side, or on the west side. All of that's included. And if you have questions about this trip in particular, if you scan that QR code, there's two things that you'll find. One is a video called Thorns and Roses, which really illustrates both the trail itself in this particular route, but also the vibe that TSX brings to their backpacking expeditions. There's also a replay from the first Reciprocity Rx open house where me and Chris and Kevin Kennedy, who's one of our program participants and a TSX program participant as well, sharing about the experience in a little bit more detail. And then there's another replay from the TSX Challenge specific information session that we had that was only about this expedition. And you can find all of that on the website for the trek to Tumangaya, which is on our website. And you can find this little QR code right here. So that's what we put out so far. We've got a community. We've got a free toolkit in various stages of unraveling and revealing. Not unrevealing. It's being revealed. We've got the Foundations program starting in March. We've got retreats in Everglades. We've got retreats in the Virgin Islands, Sequoia, Redwood. We're going up Mount Whitney because we're ready to challenge ourselves. And we were thinking there's only 12 spots available for this Mount Whitney trip, right? And not everybody will be physically able to complete something that massive. They might not be able to take that much time off of work. This is also full transparency. It is the most expensive thing that we've offered. And it's also the most inclusive in that it includes the Foundations online program. It includes an 8-day backpacking trip, a 2-day service project, all of your food, all of your gear, all of the training that's associated that TSX provides to help you prepare mentally and physically for the adventure. All of that. And it's a lot, right? Like, times are tough. This is not the same world that we were living in this time last year. I know for us as a business, it's not. And I know for myself as a human who cares deeply about a lot of things, it's not. So we were thinking, how can we make the Reciprocity RX Challenge to Mount Whitney, to Tumangaya, accessible to as many people as possible? And we came up with a community challenge. So back in 2021, this is modeled after our Take a Hike diabetes campaign. Back in 2021, we hiked just over 54,000 miles for diabetes awareness, prevention, and management as a community. And it was like a virtual race, right? And it was just, we wanted to see how often you could get out there, how many miles. Like, we weren't like pushing you to do more than you were capable of doing, but our metrics were like, how many times are you getting your little butt in motion? How far are you going? And how much money are you raising? And with this one, we wanted to say, yes, all of those things, all those metrics that we loved from the Take a Hike diabetes campaign, and let's update it for 2026. So we're going to track our acts of reconnection and our time outside. We're going to log volunteer hours. Last year as a community, we logged 2,505 volunteer hours. And according to one source that assigns a monetary value to a volunteer hour, if I use the California figure for that volunteer hour dollar number, that's almost just over $98,000 worth of support in volunteer time to the different organizations and agencies that we volunteered with. Now, I think we could at least double that through the challenge, because now that was just the people that were volunteering with us at our events and then our volunteer time as an organization. So I'm thinking if we give people an opportunity to get outside, and if we give them something to get motivated about, it's another way to connect with nature, that maybe, just maybe, I want to at least double the volunteer hours. I'd like to think of all the different creative ways that people connect with nature. And as we do this, you can earn prizes and rewards. So we've got some cool Reciprocity RX hats. We've got a really rad hoodie / sun hoodie / t-shirt available for folks that are raising money or donating. Yeah, I'm just really excited about this, because when we were doing the math about the challenge up and down Mount Whitney, that trek from when we start the service project that is before it until we get back to our cars after having trekked 75 miles to the Sierra Nevada, that's 210 hours of, is it 210 hours? Yes, 210, yeah? Yeah, 210 hours, I'm math be mathin', of nature exposure time. Now, The tipping point for receiving the healing benefits of nature is 120 minutes per week. If you're getting prescribed nature by a physician, chances are they're telling you to go outside 15 to 20 minutes a day to, start to notice fresh air and receiving the benefits. But that 120 minutes per week, that's the tipping point. That's where we really start to reap the benefits like lowered cortisol, reduced stress, reduced heart rate, good vibes through the roof as we're connecting with nature. And so we were thinking, okay, so the trek itself, about 75 miles. It's about 20,000 feet of elevation gain to go through the Sierra Nevada, up and over Mount Whitney and out the other side. And it's going to take us 8 days, but what if we expanded that to be the entire season of this challenge? So the challenge is officially open. If you'd like to register, we'd love to have you. And starting in February, we're going to send you a monthly Reciprocity Rx prescription. So an idea, a way for you to get out to reconnect. We're going to send you a reminder and a little form you can fill out to let us know about how many times you were able to connect with nature, how many volunteer hours you were able to give, if any, and just any other kinds of stories that you'd like to tell from being a participant in this. And the biggest thing for this is this gives us the opportunity to raise money to fund program costs and scholarships from community members. Like I mentioned, we have no outside funding for this. There's no grants that are supporting this work. This is all bootstrapped. There is no anything anywhere else other than program fees that are supporting this. So this, starting at a $20 donation all the way up to $5,000 or more, if you have a big company that wants to really show up and activate your community to practice reciprocity and to practice connecting with nature. One, we'd love to have you, but 95% of the people that have applied for a program or a retreat so far this year have requested a payment plan, a partial scholarship, or a full scholarship. And I'd love to say yes to more people. I would love, 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 love to say yes to everybody that applies. So if you're at all curious about the healing power of nature, if you've got a couple extra bones to spare, if you want to get a cool new lid for your dome and support what we're building here, there's a QR code here, or you can go to reciprocityrx.com/challenge to sign up and learn more. We'll have pictures. We're on the road right now, but we'll have pictures of all of the hats once we get back to San Diego, so we can share those with you. And we've got all kinds of cool stuff in the hopper here for the monthly prescription to go practice reciprocity. So we hope that you'll sign up for that too. There's all kinds of options, right? And that's the thing. If you sign up for all of it, great. We love that. And also, if all you can access right now is the free toolkit, then it's going to be super helpful, and it's going to help you move through whatever you're moving through and develop a deeper relationship to place. If you are an organization, if you represent county health and you're I want to integrate this into our health services, we can license our programming. We can create more seats in the challenge and create different tiers and different incentives for your organization to run this as a wellness challenge. The possibilities are literally endless. And I'm not just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. This really is, in the spirit of reciprocity, we're giving this free toolkit, and we're creating as many different other ways for you to engage with this work in person, online, together, kumbaya on Zoom, or standing underneath a waterfall in some beautiful park somewhere. We're just trying to create as many opportunities for this to come around as we possibly can. So between the toolkit and this challenge, those are some great, easy access, low lift, low cost, or no cost ways to get engaged. And then we also, yay, finally, we are happy to say that we are hosting another event in Glacier National Park. We've been teasing this for all of the open houses so far, but we were really putting the finishing touches on it. Everybody that we work with this year is navigating price changes because they're trying to especially the nonprofits we work with, we're all undercutting how much things actually cost, and we're all riding on good vibes and donations. And the reality is the cost of things are going up, and we were in some pretty deep negotiations with our partners at the Glacier Institute. They also have been running really low price on their programs. They've been empowered by their board to bring that up to market rates. And we were able to negotiate down from they essentially doubled their cost. So we were able to negotiate down to keep this as accessible to our community as possible. So we're gathering. We had so much fun in 2025. Most of these pictures are from our 2024 and 2025 programs in Glacier National Park. In Glacier, we did like 4 days, 3 nights and we were like, that was too much fun. We need another day. Last year we did 5 days, 4 nights, and we're like, duh, close enough. And so this year we're like, we need another day. So we're meeting September 17th through the 22nd. This is our Pathfinders program, and Pathfinders is open to everybody. So if you are a healthcare provider that wants to go to Glacier and you want to sign up, come on down. If you are a person on a healing journey and you want to go to Glacier to figure out what healing and experience the park through the lens of reciprocity and the 4 R's, come on down. If you work in public lands, if you are one of our Indigenous partners, if you're looking to learn more about how different parks do stewardship, come on down. It really is for everybody. We have this one aligned to Pathfinders because historically, the program that we've run in advance of the Glacier trip is our Blaze Your Own Trail to Self-Love program. And we are going to be including some of those different modules in this track specifically for folks that are interested in joining us in Glacier. So again, like everybody meets during the Foundations program, we'll have a specific call periodically throughout before the program window where we get to meet up as a Glacier retreat community call to get to know each other in that context. And I don't play favorites with parks because they all offer so many different beautiful things. But as far as the partners that we know that we've worked with before, as far as the food, the instruction, the landscape itself, the commitment to supporting local Indigenous communities, to elevating voices that are not often represented, Glacier National Park and the Glacier Institute are really doing a wonderful job in all of that. And this is one of our most inclusive in that it is the longest event that we host this year. It includes the most. So it includes the airport so for this one, all you got to do is get yourself to Kalispell. So whether you're arriving by train or by plane or by car, you meet us at the drop point, and then the Glacier Institute will shuttle you into the park to the Glacier Institute campus. From there, all of your meals are included. We're staying in their cabins, which are so cute and so sweet. They have hot showers, clean bathrooms, all just like steps away from the cabins that you'll be sharing. And when we host these programs, we are in partnership and in collaboration with the instructors at the Glacier Institute. So we're bringing Reciprocity Rx, we're bringing the 4 R's, we're structuring the event in the way we structure all of our events, and we're bringing in the stewardship, and we're helping you reflect, and we're introducing new practices and fun activities, and you get to be guided by the place experts, the instructors at the Glacier Institute who know these lands inside and out, who by the time we get to join them in September or at the end of their summer program season and have seen all the things throughout the season and know where to find the animals and where to see the best sunrises and sunsets. So we are absolutely delighted to be going back to Glacier National Park this fall. That's September 17th to the 22nd. Registration is now open for that one as well. You can find it either at reciprocityrx.com/pathfinders to learn more about the Pathfinders track, or you can also register at hikingmyfeelings.org/glacier. And that's it. That's all the new stuff we got coming up. That is one done. I might have a couple other surprises, but for the sake of talking, that's what we're doing for 2026. We have some really cool speaking engagements this year. Like I mentioned, we're presenting and facilitating at the Public Lands Alliance Conference. We're doing a panel with our partner, Autumn from the Redwood Parks Conservancy, and our partner, Thomas Breyer from the University of Central Florida. Both of these folks are absolute legends in their own right in the world of volunteering. Autumn comes from the volunteer management side of things, where she works with multiple agencies, tribal partners, the volunteers themselves, and different organizations to support this region and these landscapes. Dr. Breyer was an embedded scholar at the University of Central Florida, and he'll be speaking about his research about the motivations of and benefits of volunteering specifically with the Park Service. And then we also get to facilitate the 4 hours mindful mornings every morning on the beach, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the conference, to help our colleagues just reconnect to something before we go spend all day in a convention center. So we've got that coming up for a speaking engagement. We're also speaking at Dignified Futures, which is a gathering of folks that do program design in healthcare specifically. So we're talking about how to weave reciprocity into healthcare programs, the patient experience that as a patient goes through insurance or through your health services department at your state or local or county or city. They've got a little bit of everything going on there. And so we're presenting the 4 hours in that context at that conference as well. So all of which is to say, our big goals for this year are to get as many folks into this program as we can, to start educating and inviting care providers that have the capacity to prescribe and refer, prescribe and refer to the free toolkit, to the different experiences we offer, and to remind anybody that cares about nature and the planet and each other, or is curious about how to do more of any of that, to give them a place to land and to welcome them into this work. So thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you for being here, for joining us tonight. We do have a few moments. If anybody would like to ask questions, I would be delighted to answer. And if not, then when you get done here, you can be excited knowing that on the tail end of this, you're going to get an email with a bunch of resources to point you in the right direction of how to learn more, do more, be more. So if anybody has questions, feel free to pop those in the chat. I'm going to see what we got going on here. And if not, you can scoot on out and we'll see you hopefully in the program or the community or at a retreat.